Than tu tu mi hai lo patikan je ko chap dang pada hai dah ni
អូខេស្វាគមន៍ប្រិយមិត្តទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលតាមដាន SK Media ថ្ងៃនេះនៅការបាតកម្មរវាងប្រជាពលរដ្ឋភូមាដែលជាអ្នកប្រជាធិបតេយ្យ
kamera ទៅខាងមុខយើងយក kamera ទៅខាងមុខវិញ
បាទសូមអញ្ជើញដូច្នេះនៅពេលថ្ងៃនេះថ្ងៃទី7ខែ1ឆ្នាំ2022ដោយមានការធ្វើបាតកម្មពីប្រជាពលរដ្ឋភូមាហើយដូច្នេះបងប្អូនអ្នកប្រជាធិបតេយ្យទាំងអស់បានចូលរួមនៅក្នុងនឹងមានបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងនៅទីនេះផងអូខេចឹងបង introduce តិចទៅបង introduce តិចសិនណាអូខេថ្ងៃនេះថ្ងៃ
Hello ជម្រាបសួរថ្ងៃនេះជាថ្ងៃទី7ខែមករាដែលចំថ្ងៃដែលរដ្ឋមន្ត្រីលោកហ៊ុនសែនទៅទស្សនកិច្ចនៅភូមិហើយភូមិហើយបដកម្មប្រចាំនឹងទស្សនកិច្ចនេះហើយបដកម្មនេះគឺចាប់ដើមនៅមុខខាងទូតភូមិហើយយើងពង្រឹងកាមេរ៉ាទៅខាងទូតភូមិនៅខាងនោះនឹងគឺទៅមុខនេះហើយឥឡូវគឺបានទៅជុំគ្នាខាងនេះហើយបន្តិចទៀតលេងគាត់អាចធ្វើដំណើរមកជុំទៅដើម្បីអាចឃើញ
បាទដោយតែអ្វីដែលបងហេមរាគាត់បានជម្រាបជូនពីខាងដើមថាថ្ងៃនេះគឺជា TV មួយពិសេសដែលពលរដ្ឋភូមានិងបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងមកពីបណ្ដារដ្ឋនានាមាន Victoria និង New South Wales មកចូលបបអសាទរជួយ support ដល់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋភូមាមកធ្វើបាតកម្មប្រឆាំងទៅដំណើរទស្សនកិច្ចរបស់លោកហ៊ុនសែនតែទៅកាន់ប្រទេសភូមាក្នុងថ្ងៃនេះហើយព្រឹត្តិការណ៍របស់នេះខ្ញុំយកដើម្បីឲ្យបងប្អូនបានឃើញណាទោះបីជាជំងឺ Covid កំពុងតែរីករាលដាលខ្លាំងក៏ដោយតែក៏បងប្អូនភូមាបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងនៅតែទុកពីបញ្ញាមកចូលរួមតវ៉ាប្រឆាំងបច្ចុប្បន្នការជំនួសកិច្ចរបស់លោកហ៊ុនសែននៅមុខស្ថានទូតភូមិនាពេលនេះណាហើយយកតំណាងរាស្ត្រនៃរដ្ឋវិទ្យាល័យលោកតាមីងហៀងក៏មកចូលរួមផងដែរគឺដែលបងជាតំណាងរាស្ត្ររបស់តាមីងហៀងនៅមើល
Already. Okay. Yeah. ហើយសូមអភ័យទោសផងចំពោះរូបភាពដែលពួកខ្ញុំបានផ្ដិតយកក្នុងឱកាសនេះដោយសារតែមេឃរកភ្លៀងផងហើយមាន So what do? We do this or what? Okay, all right, thank you. This is just play strike for champ. Đây phải chăng tới nó nào chạy ra cách cho bọn nó một sai để chụp mê được nó phải thì rương đầy cua chập rom chiêng để sự kiện đó trongពេលបាតកម្មនេះក៏មានខាងក្រុមប៉ូលីសរបស់ប្រទេសអូស្ត្រាលីនៅទីក្រុង Canberra គេបានមកការពារសុវត្ថិភាពមិនមែនមកចាប់ធ្វើបាបវាយបាតកោទេណាគឺគេមកការពារសុវត្ថិភាពដើម្បីឲ្យមានសណ្ដាប់ធ្នាប់រៀបរយណាហើយជាខាងទូមាសមើលមាសហើយយើងកំពុងតែថតសកម្មភាពនៅក្នុងនេះ How many years? How many years is the prison? It looks like innocent people. It looks like politicians. គឺអ្វីដែលគាត់ទាមទារគាត់ចង់ឲ្យមានការផ្លាស់ប្ដូររបបអាយុធាមានកម្លាំង
ឲ្យមានបោះឆ្នោតឲ្យមានការបោះឆ្នោតដោយសេរីយុត្តិធម៌ត្រឹមត្រូវនឹងជាពិសេសសូមឲ្យអស់លែងលោកស្រីអងសានស៊ូជីគាត់ថាគឺជាម្ដាយរបស់គាត់ណាជាម្ដាយរបស់ប្រជាជនភូមាអ្នកស្រីអងសានស៊ូជីគឺជាមាតារបស់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋភូមាទូទៅក្នុងប្រទេសភូមាតែម្ដង Yeah.
The war between military and the people of Myanmar. We are here to tell you, join us on this day. We demand of democratic transformation. Nothing more, nothing less. We want you to join, or you will be in hell. How shameful you are. People of Myanmar, we need you, our life. You are the one who killed, who supported military regime. The regime we do not accept anymore in 21st century. You are like an idiot. No brain, no shame. You could not rule the country of Myanmar in 21st century. We need purely democratic transition. Nothing more, nothing less. Could you hear that? You are welcome to join our People of Myanmar movement. This is the war between people of Myanmar and your military dictatorship. We don't want you. We do not want you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Because of duty, you kill people. Huh? Why don't you kill your own people? Why don't you kill your family? Huh? You kill people. Why don't you kill your own family, Mike? Huh? No consideration. You are not human being, Mike. You are lower than dog, Mike. We had enough. We had enough. You burn people alive, Mike. We had enough. 60 years we suffer. I'm 65. Since I born, I always suffer alone. We had enough. You guys, Mike, you have to get up from the throne. You're not our leader. Our leader is Aung San Suu Kyi. Yes! You are doing your dictatorship, Mike.
នេះគឺជាកំហឹងដែលផ្ទុះចេញដោយពិតពីទឹកចិត្តនៃពលរដ្ឋភូមាតែម្ដងណាមិនមែនជាការសម្ដែងក្រោកឡើងគាត់ហ្នឹងមិនដាក់ពីចាប់ចឹងម៉ែយើងខ្លះកំខ្លាចដាក់មុខបាត់មាត់ម៉ែយើងខ្លះខ្ញុំក៏សង្ឃឹមថាបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងនឹងចូលរួមមានមុខមាត់ជួបសកម្មទូតខ្ញុំឆ្ងល់ដែរថាយើងមកដល់ស្រុកខៅហើយហេតុអីបានយើងខ្មែរយើងម្នាក់ៗបងប្អូនខ្មែរមានការគ្រប់គ្រងរបស់ពុករលួយ ដើម្បីតវ៉ាប្រឆាំងរដ្ឋបាលអ្នកនៅដល់ស្រុកក្រៅហើយអ្នកមិនបែរមើលក្រោយដល់ប្រទេសខ្មែរដែលគ្នារស់នៅទាំងឈឺចាប់ទាំងវេទនាគ្មានឃើញទេថាខ្មែរយើងរត់ថ្ងៃរត់ទាំងភូមិអញ្ចឹងដែរនៅក្នុងកណ្ដាប់ដៃរបស់ហ៊ុនសែនសូមខ្មែរក្រោកឡើងដល់ប្រជាជនខ្មែរដែលគ្នាឃើញតែសម្បែងគ្នាមានការឈឺចាប់ហ្នឹងនេះហើយយកកំហឹងរបស់ខ្មែរយើងទូទៅខ្ញុំគួរការឈឺចាប់ដែរ ដែលមានមេដឹកនាំពុករលួយសូមក្រោកឡើងអស់គ្នានៅខ្មែរអាណិតដល់ប្រជាជនខ្មែរដែលរស់នៅស្រុកខ្មែរនៅយើងនៅស្រុកក្រៅហើយហេតុតែយើងនៅគ្រប់គ្រងការពុករលួយទៀតទឹកភ្នែកខ្ញុំហូរថ្ងៃនេះមានការឈឺចិត្តដោយសារឃើញពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរនៅក្នុងការជាសង្កត់របស់ហ៊ុនសែននៅក្នុងការជាសង្កត់របស់ហ៊ុនសែន យើងនៅនេះសុខសប្បាយហើយយើងនៅក្នុងគ្រប់គ្រងហ៊ុនសែនគ្រប់គ្រងពុករលួយទៀតតើមាននៅអីណាទៅសន្តិខ្មែរដែរទេ
I mean,
I go there this evening, you know, I have to Canberra now. Yeah, I'm not sure, you know, maybe this evening, you know, I think this evening.
មានកំពុងតែធ្វើដំណើរមកជាបន្តក្នុងកម្មវិធីដែលកម្មវិធីធ្វើបដកម្មតវ៉ាខាងទៅដំណើរកិច្ចរបស់លោកហ៊ុនសែនទៅកាន់ប្រទេសឥណ្ឌាទៅជួបមេផ្ដាច់ការនេះក៏ឡើងនេះគាត់តវ៉ាសូមឲ្យមេដឹកនាំផ្ដាច់ការនេះផងឡើងត្រូវតែបញ្ឈប់នៅអំពើព្រៃផ្សៃកັບសម្លាប់ជាពលរដ្ឋខ្លួនឯងធ្វើបាបជាពលរដ្ឋខ្លួនឯងដោយអមនុស្សធម៌ហើយជាងនេះទៀតគឺនេះសូមឲ្យដោះលែងយើងទៅលោកគួនទីបាំងគេគាត់គេដាក់បាំងយើងហើយគ្មានលក្ខខណ្ឌអ្វីទាំងអស់លោកគួនទីតាមមកគេបាំងគេខាងមុខយើងមើលឃើញចា Yeah. Rồi tròn tiền, cái ba này đây em mới chơi này. Hun Sen, very bad killer. Mình bong là đâu? No why? Canadian people are the who live in post. They already support Hun Sen. They know Hun Sen is a killer. Why? You will live here free life, happy life. Go back, look back and Cambodian people who suffer by Hun Sen. Hun Sen the murder. Why Hun Sen support Myanmar? Why? They are both corruption. Cho đấy. Có phải ca chẳng tại vì thật mà nữ. Đây cầm kia lừa, đây tự nhiên tôi cái này, cái gì hơi. Tôi ông ta tự nhiên ông ta cho con đi ra cho ta con nó làm cái công việc này. Mẹ ra đi.
mình tin nhầm trong thọt lơ bị bắn à số nó là lơ nó bị tôn nó là nó lấy tôn nó theo con
សូមធ្វើអត្ថាធិប្បាយទៅលើសកម្មភាពក្នុងឱកាសពេលនេះតិចមើលដើម្បីសង្ខេបព្រឹត្តិការណ៍ឲ្យបងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងដែលតាមដាន SK Media បានជ្រាបបាទសាច់ពេញចានៅឡាយទៅឡាយចេញ
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ những Rồi thìយើងត្រូវទៅបានទីគីបានបាទ
នេះតំណាងរាស្ត្រនៅ Melbourne លោកតាក់មិនហ៊ានបានចូលរួមដែរ
ទីបងប្អូនអ្នកតាមដានវិទ្យាទាំងអស់បានចូលទៅតាមភាពដែលយើងបានថតចេញពីមុខស្ថានទូតជាតិណាតាមនៅក្រុង Canberra ហើយនេះជាថ្ងៃទី7ខែមករាថ្ងៃទី7ខែមករា2022ដែលជាថ្ងៃលោកហ៊ុនសែនទៅគ្រប់គ្រងចាប់ដៃតាមពេលដែលគាត់ផ្ដាច់ការដែលសម្រាប់ជាពលរដ្ឋឯងបានអត់មានដៃពីជនភូមិនិងពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរយើងមួយចំនួនដែលបានចេញមកពីរដ្ឋធានីនោះបានគ្រប់គ្រងហើយធ្វើបាតកម្មតវ៉ាមិនខាងផ្ដាច់ខាតទៅជនផ្ដាច់ការទាំងពីរនេះហើយជាជាបន្ទាន់នៅការកាប់សម្លាប់ហើយដោយធ្វើប្រេកផ្សាយជាបន្តហើយសូមឲ្យដោះលែងអ្នកទស្សនយោបាយដោះលែង
ក៏លឺទេបងសម្លាញ់អើយ
ដែលជាបរិបទស្អាតស្អំដោយគ្មានលក្ខខណ្ឌអ្វីទាំងអស់គឺជារូបភាពដែលខ្ញុំបានបដិទ្ធតែផ្ទាល់ណាចេញពី
ខ្ញុំកាន់បងលេងមួយ
មុខស្ថានទូតភូមិប្រចាំនៅទីក្រុង Canberra តែម្ដង
តែខ្ញុំនិយាយតែបងលឺខ្ញុំនិយាយ
ជាច្រើនហើយក្តីក្លាហាន
ពីរូបរបស់អត់មកសាលាទីអ្វី
កម្មកម្ម
តែមិនហៀងហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំកាន់បងលេងណានេះតែមិនហៀងខ្ញុំកំពុងកាន់ជាមួយមកនៅ live បងអូនេះមកឲ្យមើលវីដេអូផ្សេងខ្ញុំខ្ញុំកាន់បងលេងនេះខ្ញុំកំកាន់តានេះមកដល់ឃើញខ្ញុំកំកាន់នៅមុខបងកាមេរ៉ាdạ ở bọn dạ kìa
ពីនេះតាមមកនេះយកទៅទីនេះ
យើងបាត់កម្ម
មួយពីនេះ
មុខខាងទូតបងចូលរួមមកចូលរួមបាត់កម្មនេះទីក្រុងខេមរៈអត់លេអញ្ចឹងដូចជាមានតំណាងរាស្ត្ររបស់លោករបស់ Melbourne គឺលោកចាំហៀងដែលបានចូលរួមមកបងខេមរៈជាអ្នកគ្រូជាតិនៅ Melbourne ដែរហើយបងនរិនមកពីនេះខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ស៊ីណាថុយនៅទីក្រុងខេមរៈចាហើយនេះជាយើងចូលរួមជាមួយក្រុមបដកម្មភូមិដែលគេមកបដកម្មនៅស្ថានទូតភូមិបន្តិចទៀតយើងនឹងទៅបដកម្មនៅមុខស្ថានទូតខ្មែរហើយយើងបន្តទៅមុខផលមិនហើយទីក្រុងខេមរៈចឹងមានបងប្អូនខ្មែរចូលរួមបានច្រើនកុសលគុសលដែរព្រមតែដំណាក់កាលនេះយើងមានការកូវីដមានការបញ្ហារឿងកូវីដអញ្ចឹងហើយបានទៅមានការបងប្អូនចូលដល់តែនៅតែច្រើនកុសលគុសលដែរខ្ញុំសូមចូលក្រោយ
When the tourists come, they wash out the road, they put the flower. You don't know down there. One more. Burn the flag. You kill people a lot.
I will join you.
Stand it down.
Thank you.
We never forget them. Never forget them.
ទៀងគាត់បាត់មើលអត់ឃើញទេបើខ្ញុំកាត់នឹងចិត្តឃើញបងខ្ញុំខ្ញុំខូនយើងនេះគាត់ថាលុយយំខ្ញុំ
ကျွန်တော်ဒီနောက်ဘက်မှာရှိတဲ့ကျွန်တော်မိတ်ဆွေတွေရင်းနှီးအနေနဲ့ရှေ့ဘက်ကိုလာပြီးတော့ပူပေါင်းပေးပါခင်ဗျာကျေးဇူးပြုပြီးတော့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့နေရာလေးတွေနည်းနည်းဖြတ်ကျဲပြီးတော့ရှေ့ဘက်ကိုပူပေါင်းပေးပါလို့ဒီတိုင်းမှာပါခင်ဗျာ
នេះគឺជាទឹកជាផ្ទាល់ដែល
ទោះបីមានកូវីដជាសត្រូវរារាំងក៏នៅពលរដ្ឋរួម
មួយជាពលរដ្ឋខ្មែរដែលរស់នៅក្រៅប្រទេសពិសេសទៅទីរដ្ឋវិទ្យាល័យនៅសាវ៉ាខេត្តប្រាផ្ដាច់ការបានមកចូលរួមដើម្បីធ្វើការតវ៉ាប្រឆាំងទៅនឹងដំណើរទស្សនកិច្ចរបស់ដើម្បីតែអាចទៅកាន់ប្រទេសមួយដើម្បីជួយផ្ដាច់ការបានរួមដែលជាសូមជាមួយចុះគាត់បន្តទៅដើម្បីនឹងពិភពវិទ្យាប្រាក់ដល់ពលរដ្ឋតស៊ូប្រឆាំងពួកពួកមួយសម្រាប់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋខ្លួនឯងនៅជាយើងដៃដើម្បីផ្លត់យកអំណាចរបស់ផ្ដាច់ការធ្វើឲ្យបាំងផ្នែកមនុស្សមួយចំនួនសូម្បីអ្នកខ្លះនៅខ្មែរយើងជាច្រើនមិនសប្បាយចិត្តទៅនឹងដំណើរទស្សនកិច្ចនេះហើយក៏ចង់ពលរដ្ឋគាត់ប្រលំបាកបន្តិចទៅរួមនៅក្រោមការជិះគាត់របស់ហ៊ុនសែនអង្គការក្រៅរដ្ឋបាលគឺចាប់នៅក្នុងនៅសុខាភិបាលរបស់ច្រើនពលរដ្ឋក្រោមការជិះបើកភ្នែកមើលឲ្យច្បាស់ឲ្យឃើញការចូលជននៅខ្មែរនៅភាពឲ្យនៅប្រទេសណាក៏ដោយទាំងពីរនោះគ្រប់ណាក៏ដោយតែគឺទាំងប្រទេសជួយបាក់ភ្នែកមើលអត់គ្នាអាចការហើយយើងនៅសុខខ្មែរជារស់នៅយ៉ាងណាមានកបគប់មានតែការពុទ្ធមួយមានតែការជិះជាន់នឹងបញ្ឈប់នៅរាល់សកម្មភាពរបស់ពីថ្ងៃទីដល់មានលក្ខខណ្ឌឲ្យសូមឲ្យដោះលែងចាក់ទស្សនយោបាយ
បាននៅទុកខ្មែរទៅវានេះក៏ចិត្តថាជាចង់រួចទៅនៅទុកដែរនេះហើយតែមិនទៅឆ្លាក់ទៅធ្វើស្លាំមកឃើញជាជននៅទុកខ្មែរមានការជួយចាប់មានការបង្រួបគេធ្វើបាននៅការកាប់សម្លាប់របស់ខ្លួនឯងកម្មករណីតាមរោងចក្រនីមួយៗធ្វើបាបចាប់មុខចាប់ក្រោយចាប់មុខប្រវេណភាពសន្តិភាពគាត់ជាកម្មករគាត់សុំតែមករស់សុំប្រាក់ខែដំណើរទៅជួយយើងចាប់យើងជាប៉ូលីសខ្មែរយើងជាកម្លាំងប្រុសទ្រង់5ហាត់ចាប់ប្រវេណប្រវត្តិគាត់ដោយសន្តិភាពគាត់ជាស្រីគាត់ពុះធំទៀតតើបើយើងចាក់គេចាប់ប្រពន្ធកូនយើងតែយើងជិះចាប់ដែរទេហឡូចំណូលអគូsama sama dalam saya sebora benar yang berisi tapi lo masih berada ya lo tapi lo masih jadi kamu halo di sini ada kamu bebo apa kita yang apa ថ្លែងការណ៍ទៅកាន់មន្ត្រីស្ថានទូតភូមិបីទីទៀតក្នុងថ្ងៃនេះតំណាងរាជមានអិសរាជជនភូមិនិងអិសរាជជនខ្មែរយើងឡើងថ្លែងការណ៍ជាបន្តដែលមានសេចក្តីដូចតទៅនេះ right now right here in front of this SSC embassy Minggu ni kami reda apa nasi senai cuma saya buang mana CNRP and support group Good morning, everyone. I would like to say all of you, Happy New Year. Dear brothers and sisters, fighting for the restoration of democracy and human rights in Myanmar, and the eradication of the military regime from our motherland. I pray all of you will be well, happy, and peaceful. I'd like to express my sincere thanks to CNRP and UG Support Group Australia who organized this public rally. Yakulo, akan yo nyama, tu tadi. Wela ne, dia raja le, ebo ya. Ko tu tenaro ye. Kan ramyo ya dia chini boma. Kan kai di tenaro ye. Robo Sina. Di kalian ni satu kemaya ni tak cuma kalau. Everyone come to this project from so far away in the midst of the various difficulties. Dạ, nó không khổ. Nó chốt nó không làm hại rồi. Cầm phần làm hại. Lấy xin là anh làm rồi. Bên chỗ thì một nhân sĩ bao làm tình nhiều làm mà tôi làm về phụ nhầm đâu. Ôi tớ adres mất bạn là hiện lại chi tiết luôn. Đặt thằng mình hào. The so-called the opening of the new page in the ugly history of our country under the leadership. I'm the leader, I'm myself, I'm lonely, I'm crying No, banyak kan yang biasa. Mau ketua ibu je nak buat. Đặt thôi nữa. Đặt rồi đặt. 3 នាទី
3 នាទីឡាន
It doesn't matter how far we live now, how close we are to Burma. Our aim is to eradicate the military regime from our land. The end of the dictatorship is close. I would like to greet our brothers and sisters who have come here today as a historical duty, who have gathered here in front of this place, which is acting on behalf of Myanmar and his terrorist military junta.
Okay, ကျွန်တော်တို့အစီအစဉ်နံပါတ်3ရဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့ဒီချိန်ဒီနေရာမှာယခုလိုမျိုးသန္တာပေါ်ထုတ်ပြီးကိုရရှိတဲ့အနေနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ပေါ်ပြရအောင်ဆက်ဆိုင်အောင်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့အခုတည်းကတိုင်းသားများကိုလေးစားအားဖြင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့အသိမှတ်ပြုပါကြောင်းပြောကြားလိုပါတယ် We start with the program with the representative of traditional national land of Australia. We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodian of the land on which we meet today. We pay our respects to the elders.
មិនសមជាតំណាងឲ្យពលរដ្ឋរបស់
We would like to acknowledge everyone who has joined us here today. ကျွန်တော်တို့စီစဉ်နံပါတ်4နေနဲ့နေဦးတော်ရေးနဲ့အာဏာရှင်တက်ကြီးတော်လန်တိုက်ပွဲအသီးသီးပြီးမှာတက်တိုးခဲ့ကြတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့အားလုံးဒီရဲဘော်ပုဂ္ဂိုလ်များကိုတမတိငြိမ်သက်စွာဦးညွတ်လေးပါဖြစ်ပါတယ်ယခုလိုငြိမ်သက်စွာတမတိဦးညွတ်ဂုဏ်ပြုပါဖြစ်ကြတဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲ့ရဲဘော်ရေးတဲ့နေစေတကယ်ကြီးအားလုံးကိုဒီတပ်တော်နဲ့ဦးတမိတာလေးဦးပေးပါရဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီနေ့ပန်းချအပ်ပါတယ်အခုချိန်မှာစတင်ပြီး1 minute sign up ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်အင်္ဂလိပ်လိုတန်းပြရပါမယ် Our next program is to honor our heroes. So please give your 1 minute silence for our fallen heroes by starting now. Thank you.
Bích đông la hôn sai mũ
1 minute silence, please.
1 second ចាំតែគ្រប់ពីនេះខាង
Okay, အားလုံးကိုထူးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Okay, speak some of them.
យើងសូមគេ
Thank you so much for your participation. ကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်တဲ့အစီအစဉ်တစ်ခုနဲ့မျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးဆိုရ NUG နိုင်ငံရေးဝန်ကြီးဌာနမှပေးပို့သောတုံ့ပြန်ရာကိုဖတ်ကြားမှုအစီအစဉ်ဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ The next program is to read a message from the Union Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Unity Government. So I would like to invite Dr. Shui, representative of NUG, to read the message. Please welcome Dr. Shui.
Thank you so much. So the message is in Burmese language. So please read out in Burmese. Australia နိုင်ငံတွင်ပြုလုပ်သောစစ်အာဏာရှင်စနစ်အောက်မှလွတ်မြောက်ရေးလူထုဆန္ဒပြပွဲသို့အမျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးအစိုးရနိုင်ငံသားရေးဝန်ကြီးဌာနပြည်ထောင်စုဝန်ကြီးမှပေးပို့သောတုံ့ပြန်တော်ဇန်နဝါရီလ6ရက်2022ခုနှစ်နွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးလူထုလှုပ်ရှားမှု17လကျော်ကာလအတွင်းမှာ CNRP and UC support Australia ရောက်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံသားများမြန်မာအရေးလှုပ်ရှားသူများအားလုံးကိုဦးစွာနှုတ်ဆက်တာရင်ကျေးဇူးတင်ကြောင်းပြောကြားလိုပါတယ်2020ခုနှစ်ဖေဖော်ဝါရီလ1ရက်နေ့မိမောင်းထုတ်ပြလိုက်တဲ့သတင်းစကားကတော့
ខ្ញុំដើរចុះដើរឡើយ
စစ်တပ်နိုင်ငံရေးမှာပါဝင်နေ၍ဒီမိုကရေစီထူထောင်သည်ပင်တာရှည်မခံဘူးဆိုတဲ့အချက်ကို ပို့ပြီးပေကြစီခဲ့တာပဲဖြစ်ပါလေထို့တူကျမ်းဖက်ခွင့်ရချုပ်ပါမှုဆေးရာဇဝတ်ကျူးလွန်မှု
Yeah បង
လူသားမျိုးနွယ်စုပေါ်ကျူးလွန်ခဲ့တဲ့ရာဇဝတ်မှုများစွာအတွက်
Okay yeah okay
ကျူးလွန်သူတွေဟာ
Okay bye bye
တမတော်အမိခံပြီးအကာအကွယ်ယူကင်းလွတ်ခွင့်ရနေသမျှဒီမိုကရေစီနဲ့တရားမျှတမှုအသီးပွင့်တွေဟာမကြာခဏဖြစ်စည်းခံရမှာပဲဖြစ်ပါတယ်ယခုမြန်မာပြည်ရဲ့21ရာစုຫນွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးဟာအပြစ်ကျူးလွန်သူတွေကင်းလွတ်ခွင့်ရနေတဲ့ဒလိထုံးစံကိုပါတိုက်ချက်စိန်ခေါ်ရမယ်တော်လှန်ရေးဖြစ်ပါတယ်ဒီအချက်ကိုလည်းຫນွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးမှာပူးပေါင်းပါဝင်နေကြသူပြည်သူအပေါင်းကနားလေသဘောမျှပြီးဖြစ်တယ်လို့ယုံကြည်မိပါတယ်ဒါကြောင့်ဒီနေ့ပြုလုပ်တဲ့စစ်အာဏာရှင်စနစ်အောက်မှလွတ်မြောက်ရေးလူလူဆန္ဒပြပွဲရဲ့ရည်ရွယ်ချက်သတင်းစကားများအတိုင်းအမျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးအစိုးရကလည်းထပ်တူပြုသဘောမျှကြောင်းခေါ်ပြရင်းတဝင်လွှာပါလိုက်ရပါတယ်အရေးတော်ပုံအောင်ပါလိမ့်လေးစားဦးညွှန်လျက်ဒေါ်စင်မအောင်ပြည်တော်စုဝင်ကြီးကျေးဇူးများကြီးတင်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
မျိုးသားညီညွတ်ရေးဆိုရနိုင်ငံခြားရေးဝန်ကြီးဌာနဝန်ကြီးဒေါ်စင်မအောင်ရဲ့ပေးပို့တာသောသဘင်တော်ကို NUG representative to Australia ဦးတော်အောင်ရှိမှဖတ်ကြားပေးတဲ့အတွက်အထူးကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာနောက်အစီအစဉ်တစ်ခုအနေနဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့ယနေ့လူထုထောက်ပံ့ဆန္ဒပြပွဲကိုဦးစီးဦးဆောင်ကျင်းပတဲ့ CRPH NUG Support Group Australia Program အမှားစကားပြောကြားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
We thank you to Dr. Tongshe to read the message of the Union Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, National Unity Government, Dosimao. The next program is to invite a speaker from CRPH and Unity Support Group Australia. Please welcome Paul Nye Salzman, spokesperson of CRPH and Unity Support Group Australia.
Thank you everyone. အခုလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့မိုးတွေလေတွေ COVID restriction တွေကြားတဲ့ကနေပြီးတော့မှခက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ Australia နိုင်ငံမှာရောက်နေတဲ့မြန်မာ community တိုင်းရင်းသားညီကောင်မောင်နှမတွေအားလုံးဒီနေ့လာရောက်ကြတော့ကျွန်တော်အထူးကျေးဇူးတင်တဲ့အကြောင်းစကားပမာဏအနေနဲ့ပြောလိုတယ်။နောက်တစ်ခုကကျွန်တော်တို့ဘာကြောင့်ဒီလိုရောက်လာကြတာလဲ။ကျွန်တော်ရောက်လာတဲ့ရည်ရွယ်ချက်ကကျွန်တော်တို့တွေရင်ထဲမှာခံစားနေရတဲ့ခေတ်ဆက်ဟလာမြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာဒီမိုကရေစီတိုက်ပွဲအတွက်ကြာဆုံးသွားတဲ့လူတွေရဲ့တွေးတွေကမခန်းချောက်သေးဘူးเนาะမြန်မာပြည်သူတွေကလုံးဝနောက်မဆုတ်သေးဘူးမဆုတ်သေးဘူး PDF တွေကထပ်ပြီးတော့တိုးလာနေတော့မယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ Australia မှာရှိနေတဲ့မြန်မာ community တိုင်းရင်းသားတွေအားလုံးကလည်းနောက်ဆုတ်မှလားမဆုတ်ပါဘူးเนาะကျွန်တော်တို့ကရှေ့ဆက်ပြီးတော့တော်လှန်နေမယ်ဒီຫນွေဦးတော်လှန်ရေးဟာကျွန်တော်တို့အပီးတိုင်းတိုက်ရမယ်တော်လှန်ရေးဖြစ်တယ်အဲ့အတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့တွေအားလုံးကညီညွတ်မှုအတွက်ဒီလိုရောက်လာခြင်းဖြစ်တယ်เนาะဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒါကိုကျွန်တော်အတိကအလေးထားပြီးတော့ပြောချင်တယ်နောက်ပြီးတော့ဒီနေ့ကျွန်တော်ရောက်လာခြင်းအဓိကအလေးထားမယ်ကိစ္စစစ်ကောင်စီကိုမင်းအောင်လိုက်နဲ့အပေါင်းပါနောက်လိုက်ဦးတာအောင်ညွန့်ကိုလည်းတရားစွဲဆိုမယ်ဆိုတာကိုကျွန်တော်တို့အတိအလေးကြေညာတဲ့သဘောလည်းဖြစ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီအတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ရှေ့ဆက်ပြီးတော့လုပ်ရမယ့်လုပ်ငန်းတွေအများကြီးရှိတယ်တိုင်းရင်းသားတွေအများကြီးညီကောင်မောင်နှမတွေအကုန်လုံးကျွန်တော်တို့စွစွစီစီနဲ့ဆက်လက်တိုက်ပွဲဝင်ကြမယ်အဲ့ဒီအတွက်ကိုကျွန်တော်အလေးထားပြီးတော့ပြောချင်တယ်နောက်တစ်ခုကကျွန်တော်တို့ community တိုင်းမှာရှိနေတဲ့ state level ဟလာဒီပြည်နယ်နဲ့တိုင်းအသီးသီးမှာရှိနေတဲ့မြန်မာ community ဒီတိုင်းကျွန်တော်တို့နေတာထက်အခု Australia နိုင်ငံမှာ Federal Election လာတော့မယ်เนาะအဲ့ဒီ Federal Election မှာနိုင်ငံရေးသမားတွေကသူတို့ပါတီနိုင်ငံရဖို့အတွက်ကိုပါတီနိုင်ဖို့အတွက်ကိုမဲစည်းရုံးကြတော့မယ်အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့မြန်မာ community တွေအသီးသီးကကိုနေတဲ့ရက်ွက် local state parliament တွေကို
Eddie got a matico, Sari Yetaba, no, Yamabi Jango Yamapio Sujava, Drone appointment in Lopido, a TV or place of Middle Sunu Body, Low Java. I don't know, imita a yeti a chain kit. So, anyone is the sit and a community, Alo, why be the sick on see may online there, put on you, the answers to make a sample, general account, for we don't live in the Los and yes. And the other one is I'd like to say thank you for Cambodian community and thank you for your solidarity. And we, from behalf of the Myanmar community in Australia, we appreciate your solidarity and the support. This is the time the Cambodian government, the Prime Minister, actually visiting to Myanmar today. So we condemn his action with the dealing with the Myanmar military leaders. So the next year with the Cambodians ASEAN chair, we have to make sure we will unite each other, not just only in Australia, around the globe for all the Cambodian community and Myanmar community will be united with their aim to invite the May Online for the ASEAN meeting. So, the never Zagao Chongpyo Lai solution. No, Adiga or General Myanmar community, Adiga later below Maga, Australia Ma, the federal election La Rome, 8 generally, Diana Titi, organization Titi, Poesidi, Titi Alonga, the federal election triple, Ayong Saipio, Nanga Yid Marigo, Nini Kaka Suni Tami, you set Taijawalo, you know, Taijuni Marik, Jesu de Marik. CRPH and UG support group Australia Proza Akulo Masgabia Japide, 09 Totman Loy, 2 Jesu Tika. General Yanek, to the Jarek, General Yasu in it, General Age of the Age of Kiloma Tipa. General Age of the New Sea and the time, we must be off. Now can they be off tomorrow? Trying how to use of the tomorrow. How the Thomas. Hello everyone. We're going to have 5 chants. So when I please chant out Myanmar military, everyone please shout out stop killing, stop killing. Thank you. Myanmar military,
Stop killing! Stop killing!
Myanmar military,
Stop killing! Stop killing!
Myanmar military.
Stop killing! Stop killing!
Chant number 2. When I say Junta Embassy, everyone please say get out, get out. Junta Embassy,
Get out! Get out!
Junta Embassy,
Get out! Get out!
Junta Embassy.
Get out! Get out!
Chant 3. Legitimate Myanmar government, say NUG, NUG. Thank you. Legitimate Myanmar government.
NUG! NUG!
Legitimate Myanmar government.
NUG! NUG!
Legitimate Myanmar government.
NUG! NUG!
When I read out reject military, please say accept NUG. Reject military.
Accept NUG!
NUG. Reject military.
Accept NUG!
Reject military.
Accept NUG! Accept NUG! Yeah.
She on a Jennifer sick on the old way and now got it. Low she's of you on the car like Oriano. A Jennifer sick on the old. No, Jennifer sick on the old. No, Jennifer sick on the old. You're not me out like now, like now, so now got it. Now, so we don't get sent out of Oriano. Me all right now, like now. Me all right now, like now. Me all right now, like now. Sick on the go there, see do ye like Oriano. Sick on the go there, see ye. Sick on the go there, see ye. Sick on the go there, see ye. မြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များနေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတို့တိုက်ပွဲဆိုရင်အောင်ကိုအောင်ရမည်လို့လိုက်ခေါ်ရနော်နေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတို့တိုက်ပွဲနေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတို့တိုက်ပွဲနေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတို့တိုက်ပွဲစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးဆိုရင်တော်လန်ရေးနဲ့တိမ့်ပိုက်ကြโอเคစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးတို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တပတ်တပတ်ဆန္ဒဆန္ဒ
Thank you. Yakulu nyo kiko danyane o kiko bire o bire ne matchilan jaru o tezi tiji na. Okay.
Thank you so much for putting the line down for the chanting.
No, bigi the kiu. Right party to beta mapna.
Please sing the local song with us.
bắt ra rất ca chương nhé rất ca chương YouTube tụm tô mùi ní mò là đi nè đây chân nó to mùi đi lên lái con tra và
invite a person from CRPH and Unity Support Group Australia Ethnic Council. For this program, I would like to invite Mr. Saul Luen-U, National President of AKO. Please welcome Mr. Saul Luen-U.
Thank you. On behalf of the on behalf of the Ethnic Advisory Council, I take the opportunity to thank CRPH Support Group Australia, its member, for organizing this successful program today. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodian of the land, and I pay respect to their elder past and present. I now like to provide an update on the current situation which is occurring as we gather here at this rally to stop war crime and crimes against humanity by Myanmar military junta. As recent as the 5th December 2021 in Rangoon, military truck had plunged into the unarmed anti-regime peaceful protester and fired like 5 ammunition. And this resulted in the death of the 4 innocent people, and it's not only a violation of their human rights, but it's also amount to extrajudicial and disproportionate punishment. The unfortunate reality is that the vehicle ramming attack on the protester have occurred 19 times over the past 10 months. On the 6th of December, Myanmar detained civilian leader, State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, and President U Win Myint were convicted and sentenced to 4 years in prison, a sham trial before a military control court. Other cases are like the State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi today have been baseless and designed to end her political career, together carry a maximum sentence of more than 100 years in prison. Unfortunately, there has never been a fair and public hearing by an independent and impartial tribunal for those arbitrarily detained, because there is no such thing as a judicial independence under the military junta. This is another such reality. We are further embarrassed by the most appalling crime of the junta soldier burning of the 11 people after tying them with rope in the village of Sagai Division. Also on the 6th December, 5 of those people are children. 1 of them are 14 years old and 4 of them are 70 years old. MRTV News report on the 24th of December 2021 that Myanmar and military leader were celebrating Christmas together with the Catholic Cardinal Charles Bo. Ironically, the story presented and peaceful, and it's totally far from the current reality of Myanmar, where there is in fact no peace, no love, and no justice for the people of Myanmar. We are further horrified at the Christmas massacre perpetrated by the Myanmar military forces on the 25th of December in eastern Muso village outside the Pluso township in Kaya state. The attack resulted in 40 civilians, including 4 children and 8 workers from the Save the Children being captured and shot, with their body burned in their vehicles. The incident is part of the calculated and systematic war of terror on the Myanmar civilians. Also, during this time, assault in the Lake area south of Myawaddy escalated into an airstrike and heavy artillery fire on the 23rd of December. The airstrike on the 25th of December were conducted by a jet fighter and 2 Mi-35 attack helicopter, destroying homes and causing thousands of people to flee into the Thailand. These acts of war, torture, and murder are deliberately orchestrated to create a state of terror in the general public and are considered terrorism under Myanmar law and resolution of the UN Security Council, UN General Assembly, and the ASEAN Terrorism Convention. These attacks, similar to other crimes against humanity committed by the junta all over Myanmar, have taken place just day after Australia Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade Defense Secretary Campbell hosted the junta-affiliated Myanmar ambassador La Aung Nyut at the meeting of ASEAN Head of Mission on the 22nd of December 2021. According to the Network for Human Rights Documentation Burma, as the 26th of December 2021, over 11,202 people have been arrested, 8,254 people are still being detained, and 1,375 people have been ruthlessly murdered by the military since 1st February 2021, when the military unleashed a systematic and targeted attack on these violence against innocent civilians. The atrocity have led to over 200,000 recently internally displaced, in addition to 505,000 internally displaced fleeing conflict and violence at the end of 2020. Ongoing lack of safety and security present, the risk of triggering on exodus of refugees to neighboring countries already burdened by the hosting over 1.1 million refugees. In the face of this undeniable violation of human rights and humanitarian law, the CRPH NUG support group urged Australian government to take immediate action. CRPH NUG support group Australia called upon Australian government to issue a statement of condemning the massacre Moso village, Pluso Township, Kaya State, and call for an end to the escalating airstrike in the eastern Burma. To use Australia's influence to urge ASEAN to investigate the recent massacre in Kaya State and other grave human rights violations. To urge the Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen and the new ASEAN Chair Special Envoy to Myanmar, Cambodian Foreign Minister Pak Song Hong, to engage with the representative of Myanmar CRPH NUG, the ethnic armed organization, and the leader of the civil disobedience movement as per the ASEAN 5-point consensus. And additionally, to urge Prime Minister Hun Sen to ensure his upcoming visit to Myanmar in 2022 do not legitimize Myanmar military junta and entirely that may be found to be a terrorist organization under Myanmar in international law. Ensure that Australian government, in particularly DFAT, do not take any action that could not be seen as a legitimizing Myanmar military junta. To utilize Australia's new autonomous sanction amendment at 2021 to sanction Myanmar military Min Aung Hlaing, Myanmar military leader Min Aung Hlaing, and other senior military official and member of the State Administrative Council (SAC). Thank you very much. Yerobo, Aung Yami. Yerobo.
ယခုလိုမျိုးတိုင်းရင်းသားအကြံပေးကောင်စီကိုစားအမှားစကားပြောကြားပေးသွားတဲ့ AKO National President ဦးစောလွင်ဦးဟာအထူးကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိပါတယ် General now season the Kunine National League for Democracy Solidarity Association Australia Ma Kota Ua Amazga Pioja Bibu take call Abarakina.
We would like to thank you, Anga Usoleu, for your speech. The next program is to hear the speech from our community. For this one, I would like to invite Mr. Ted Wu, spokesperson of National League for Democracy Solidarity Association Australia, to give up his speech. Please welcome Mr. Ted Wu.
Hello.
Okay, chẳng là lấy bị lại chập tầm nữa chẳng cầm mình thấy chết là gì nên chập làm lại và tỏ tiệt nữa.
Anh ấy sẽ nhớ ra democracy phải cho mấy sự nhà cái Australia vậy, cô ra sẽ gặp nhau con nhà được.
Okay, primate tiếng Anh để tam đàn ai
nhà cô giáo sĩ là gia đấy, cho nó rồi mấy sự nhà này cả, nhà gì là Australia này nghe đâu. Khanh tháo thì thích chạm về luôn. Cho nó bộ ở phía này nghe nó theo này này. Đồ lá tao đã cho cả ba lấy luôn. Thế là đó là một cái em tao muốn. Anh nói đó thì mình dùng của cái son này này. Anh lúc quay của lấy ra lấy nào đi. Có một giờ xí mà ưu chụp.
Roha banyak
Semua kau dia ko doi ma de lu bre chano khia ba. Dama le naingan twin. Era dia ni
internet so
naingan ma shi ja le. Ma ti de ga le. Ai to lo sura kau dia myo ko ya shi bo twat. 2020 ရွေးကောက်ပွဲမှာကိုဗစ်-19 ကရောဂါဘေးပေါ်နေလို့နောက်ဆက်အသားအကြမ်းဖက်တိုက်ခိုက်မှုတွေမျိုးကိုရင်ဆိုင်ကြော်လာပြီးဒီမှာခံတော့မှာဒီနဲ့ဆိုရမျိုးကိုခက်ရွေးချယ်ကြပါSNI ကိုတိုးပြီးတော့ရွေးခဲ့ကြရတာပေါ့ဒီဝိုင်လာတည်းနေ့ဆက်အာဏာသိမ်းပြီးနောက်ပိုင်းမှာမြန်မာပြည်ကျေးသားခဲ့ရတဲ့တဲတဲ့ညီတော်ဟောတိကန်ချစ်ခဲ့ရပါတယ်အချိန်ဟိုးနဲ့တွတ်တဲ့
လောက်ပမာဏစီတေဘာနာချိုပိ
Hello bố.
Okay, ini kamu tiket lo. Okay. Okay,
Ane di party au kada, naingan no tai memang pokok. Kau tak suci ne, lu kerana cicak le. Kamu punya ni, mesti jom orang domi mau bawa. Dia sisa koya ha. Lagi kan kena ya sebab. Pasti kena ya kala tu ni, yang lu pergi macam mati so gaya le. Ye tu ka, kalau sikha ba. Memang lu lah yo ya ibu gaya le. Memang tak beroji hal le. Apa sebenarnya? So dia tak kaya ba. Dari alu ye, nak tak terkena. Yang lain ni, sekarang dah sudah jauh sebab. Saya lah jadi. Jangan lupa, soalan ye bo, tapi nak ni korang nak ni. Hari jangan lupa, siapa dia masih ni le. Australia dengan saya, yang mata yang masih ni le. Kemah, yang lain ni sekarang dah ni, kujo ada, loba jemaah juga. Sanggup kiasi ni mah, uta orang ni, dia orang ni sini ba. Jika ni ni ama, jangan lupa alu, suyong lagi. Yang si lajar dia jahat, di lawan juga jatuh bu, jatuh tanah kau sesuatu bu dia jenis, yang si lajar apa? Anak tina, ini soalnya, sekolah tu cara ni cepat. Sekarang dia lawan juga, jangan lihat dia kama. Jangan tak tidur dia, jangan thabi, le jangan bauja terkait je. Jangan le nya, bisok casi je. Tidur aja si orang casi ni aku, ada macam je. Kalau tu ni apa we, jangan tanya aku. Yes, miss show tak jadi. Tapi siapa tu pun tu itu. Naingan negara kami thare jangan ni tu. Jom jadi macam tu ni aku. Jadi macam tak tahu thane. Yang tu ni tu siapa? Jadi macam, anak saya sekolah siapa? Jangan pasti dia lama ya ba. Canberra ni masih ni le. Jemaah yo ha. Jangan pasti yo kodak tu ni le. Apa macam mana? Jangan kesal sekolah siapa? Luda ni orang apa culo ni jadi pun, kain nak cuma ni juga, satai culo ni nak cepat. Luda macam ni aku culo ni juga, culo kere, kamu sih juga, naingan kata aku yang ni mah, si jadi pun ni, dia sesuatu ni oh, naingan kata aku alu, kain pun cuba jawab. Asyik ni, nama dia bawa cuma thare, ဘုံသဘောတူညီချက်၅ချက်ကိုလုံဆောင်ရန်ပြတ်ကွက်ခဲ့တဲ့စစ်ကောင်စီကိုလေးထားပြသမှုကိုထင်ဟပ်စေတဲ့ကမောရဝန်ကြီးချုပ်ဟွန်ဆန်ရဲ့မြန်မာပြည်ကြီးစီဟာမြန်မာပြည်သူတွေရဲ့အကျိုးဒေသတွင်းအာဆီယံနိုင်ငံတွေရဲ့အကျိုးတော့မဟုတ်တဲ့အကြမ်းဖက်စစ်ကောင်စီကိုတရားဝင်စစ်အစိုးရရဲ့အတိမတ်ပြု၍ကြိုးပမ်းဆောင်ရွက်မှုတစ်ခုဖြင့်ရှုမြင်သုံးသပ်ပြီးပြင်းထန်စွာကောက်ကွက်ရှုတ်ချပါကြောင်းNSC မျိုးသားဒီမိုကရေစီဖွဲ့ချုပ်မိတ်ဆွေများအသင်းဩစတြေးလျရဲ့ပုံစံပြောကြားရင်းနဲ့ဒီကုန်းချုပ်ပါတယ်။ရေတော်မဟုတ်အားလုံးကျေးဇူးတင်ပါတယ်။
ဟုတ်ကဲ့အခုလိုမျိုး National League for Democracy Solidarity Association Australia ရဲ့ကိုယ်စားအမှားစကားပြောကြားပေးတဲ့ကိုတောက်ဦးအောင်သူကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်တို့ထပ်မံပြီးတော့အေးကြော်ကြများနဲ့အေးကြော်ကြပါဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာWe're going to chant again. Please, everyone, for the first one, say stop killing. Stop killing. So, Myanmar military, stop killing! Stop killing! Myanmar military, stop killing! Stop killing! Myanmar military, stop killing! Stop killing! Number 9, get out, get out. Come on. Junta embassy!
Get out, get out.
Junta embassy!
Get out, get out.
Junta embassy!
Get out, get out.
Legitimate Myanmar government!
S30.
Legitimate Myanmar government!
S30.
Legitimate Myanmar government!
S30.
Free Myanmar, man. Free Myanmar! Free Myanmar!
Free Myanmar.
Free Myanmar!
Free Myanmar.
Now start accept NUG Reject military! Accept NUG! Reject military! Accept NUG! Reject military! Accept NUG! Thank you.
အကြမ်းဖက်စစ်ကောင်စီရုံးတွင်အလုံးမရှိလိုက်ပါဘူးပါအကြမ်းဖက်စစ်ကောင်စီရုံးအကြမ်းဖက်စစ်ကောင်စီရုံးအကြမ်းဖက်စစ်ကောင်စီရုံးမင်းအောင်လိုင်းနဲ့နောက်လိုက်များဆိုရင်နောက်ဆုံးနေ့အတွက်ပြင်ဆင်ထားလိုက်အောင်ပေးပါမင်းအောင်လိုင်းနဲ့နောက်လိုက်များနောက်ဆုံးနေ့အတွက်ပြင်ဆင်ထားမင်းအောင်လိုင်းနဲ့နောက်လိုက်များနောက်ဆုံးနေ့အတွက်ပြင်ဆင်ထားမင်းအောင်လိုင်းနဲ့နောက်လိုက်များနောက်ဆုံးနေ့အတွက်ပြင်ဆင်ထားစစ်ကောင်စီကိုတရားစီရင်ရေးစစ်ကောင်စီကိုတရားစီရင်ရေးစစ်ကောင်စီကိုတရားစီရင်ရေး Federal Democracy ရရှိရေး Federal Democracy ရရှိရေး Federal Democracy ရရှိရေးမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များအတင်းထားလိုက်အောင်ပေးပါမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များမြန်မာပြည်ကညီနောင်များနွေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတိုးတိုက်ပွဲဆိုရင်အောင်ကိုအောင်ရမည်လိုက်အောင်ပေးပါနွေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတိုးတိုက်ပွဲအောင်ကိုအောင်ရမည်နွေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတိုးတိုက်ပွဲအောင်ကိုအောင်ရမည်နွေဦးတိုက်ပွဲတိုးတိုက်ပွဲအောင်ကိုအောင်ရမည်စိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးဆိုရင်တော်လန်ရေးနဲ့တိမ့်ပိုက်ကြစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးစိတ်သုံးနေတဲ့လူခွင့်ရေးတို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တို့ပြည်သူတွေညီရလားဟဲ့တပိတ်ဆန္ဒ
ယခုလိုမျိုးကျိုးကျော်တဲ့များကိုအားမပြေဝစွာနဲ့တိုင်ပေးတဲ့ကိုဒေတာနဲ့မက်ချလိုင်းကြောင့်သူကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိသလိုကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲဘော်ရဲဘက်အင်အားစုအများကိုလည်းကျေးဇူးတင်ရှိပါတယ်နောက်စီစဉ်တစ်ခုအနေနဲ့ကတော့ CRPH NUG Support Group New South Wales ရဲ့ကိုစားတဦးမှနေပြီးတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အမှားစကားပြောကြားဖို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ်အမှားစကားပြောကြားဖို့အတွက်ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ရဲ့ဖိတ်ခေါ်သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာ
Yeah, the next program is to give a speech from one of the state representatives of CRPH NUG Support Group Australia, New South Wales. For this program, I would like to invite Mr. Sean. Please welcome Mr. Sean.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for giving me a chance to make a speech today on behalf of New South Wales Burmese community and on behalf of the youth across Australia. And thank you all so much for coming here today during these hard and uncertain times. And it has been nearly a year since Min Aung Hlaing and his generals took over our country and sanctioned a military coup. Since then, our people have been brutally murdered. Our political leaders were put into prisons. Villages were burned down and our freedom of speech was taken away. But you know what? Despite all that, we refuse to be silenced. We refuse to just stand and watch by. And we refuse to let this go by. And we're here today, here now, much more stronger than ever and much more united than ever. And as a youth, I would like to say something on behalf of all the Burmese youth. Since the coup, I've seen children, teenagers, and young adults giving up on their dreams and hopes for their future and career. They can't go to school anymore. They can't go to university anymore. They can't work. They can't pursue their talent, their career, and they can't feed their family. Some of them went into hiding. Some of them were in prison now and still in prison. And some of them have to learn how to defend themselves against these criminals. Why we have to be studying, why we have to pursue our career, we are holding ourselves together just to defend from these criminals. Youth are the future of any country. We are. And you know what? With these criminals in charge, they have taken our future away. We won't have a future anymore. We won't. Because of them. But you know what? Look at their children and grandchildren. Look at how privileged they are. Look at the luxurious lifestyle they're having. Look at the protection and the food they have on the table. Look at their life without any worries, and our life are struggling. But you know what? I told them today, they got one thing to worry about. And they got to worry about us, the people, because we are more united than ever, we're more stronger than ever, and we will fight them. Now let me ask you this. Do you want a leader who's selfish? Do you want a leader who only looks out for himself? No. Now, do you want a leader who killed your own people? No. Who burned down own villages and who dropped bombs from the sky? That's why I came here today. I make a statement. I say to Min Aung Hlaing, give back our country, free our political leaders, and get out of our country. Yellow! 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 Thank you.
Sorry.
အခုကျွန်တော်တို့နောက်စီစဉ်တစ်ခုအနေနဲ့ Với cái sao thì chị ý chí điều cho nó luôn cho nên mà thì mà aro right to be trong cái này là mà nó
Please sing the song, break the song.
Nhưng tôi con video ở một mình cao nữa đẹp quá một
tu làm điều cho nó đôi to này ta chỉ cái đấy cái ta ta chỉ dễ đi đi ta chỉ nhau quá với tôi chỉ cho đây cho nó dễ còn dễ còn nhau tôi chỉ nhé nó thì đến cái khu này cho nó đôi dễ đi cho nó đôi các sa tài yêu chi mà cho nó đôi đấy cái lại khu bom gì đó nó cho nó đôi khu cái ra đây cho nó cái hồ đi mà community đó nhau đây cho nó đôi cái con này là cái bà đấy còn mau con này nè Our
next program is to invite the honorable guest speaker, Mr. Tak, who is from the Cambodian community. Please welcome Mr. Tak.
Thank you. My name is Hamara. I'm the president of the Cambodian National Rescue Party in Victoria. I'm here with my committee and supporter. We also have the president of the Cambodian National Rescue Party of New South Wales, Ms. Narongkai, with her committee and supporter. Also, we have the Cambodian National Rescue Party of Canberra, Ms. CNRP and her supporter. And also, as a Cambodian, we have our local Victorian member, Mr. Mehin Tak, with us as well. Brothers and sisters of Myanmar, we, the Cambodian people, the Liberal and the Democrat of Cambodia, we, the member and supporter of the Cambodian National Rescue Party, the only opposition party in Cambodia, we
understand very well your struggle, the struggle of the Myanmar people. We understand your determination to fight for democracy because we have been through the same situation 3 or 4 years ago now, when the will of our people was stolen by the dictator of Cambodia, Mr. Hun Sen. Therefore, we as the people of ASEAN, we stand with the people of Myanmar. We stand with Aung San Suu Kyi. We stand with President U Min Min and Member of Parliament of all parties, NLD. We stand with CRPH and UG. I would like to send a message to Senior Min Aung Lang through you, Mr. Ambassador, and send a message to the people of Myanmar, to the Australian government and all the international community. The message is, Hun Sen does not represent Cambodia. How could he? He killed democracy in Cambodia. He stole the election from the Cambodian people. Yeah. He did. He dissolved the only viable opposition Cambodian party, CNRP, in 2017 on an accusation of its president, Mr. Canberra, of treason and conspiring with the United States to overthrow the government of Cambodia. You heard me right. Conspire with the US to overthrow his government. How ridiculous is that? More than 4 years later, now, there's no threat of evidence. Mr. Canberra has not been tried. He's still awaiting trial. He, Hun Sen, held an election in 2018 with no main opposition party, the CNRP. Less than half the eligible voters turned up, and he won 100% of the seat, 125 of 125 seats. But this was a fake election, and he is the prime minister from the fake election. The then UN Special Rapporteur, Professor Ronald Smith, called the election as it was, a non-genuine election that does not reflect the will of the people. In our simple term, it's a fake election. The same as Myanmar, you're right. Australian government did not recognize his government. The US, the British, the EU, almost every democratic country did not recognize his government. Only a handful of Communist Party recognized his government. So you see, Hun Sen does not represent Cambodia. As the ASEAN member, he violated the ASEAN 5 points by welcoming Min Aung Hlaing, Foreign Minister, to Cambodia. You agree with me? Yes. Now he wants to find the solution to Myanmar crisis on behalf of ASEAN chairman. How ridiculous is that? I say to Mr. Hun Sen, stop pretending, stop embarrassing yourself, stop bringing shame to ASEAN. Do not bring your evil doctrine to Myanmar. Solve the issue in Cambodia, restore democracy in Cambodia. I would like to call on our government, the Australian government, and the international community to send a clear message to the ruling military, the self-appointed State Administration Council led by Min Aung Hlaing, that Australian government and the international community do not condone the act of aggression against the democratic people, and that they must respect the will of the people. We know that the soft diplomacy, carrot and stick diplomacy do not work
with dictator. So I call on the Australian government, I implore the Australian government to use the newly passed Autonomous Sanction Amendment Act of 2021 to sanction those who committed gross human violation, especially in the case of Hun Sen and Min Aung Hlaing, Cambodia and Myanmar. I would like to express my gratitude to the U.S. administration for sanctioning those who have committed gross violation of human rights in Cambodia under the Global Magnitsky Act. Those sanctions have sent a clear message to the weak, to the vulnerable, to the victim of human rights violation that the United States will act and will not stand in the presence of evil. This is a message of hope. Thank you to the people of America. I would like to call on all the liberal, the Democrat people of the world to stand with the Myanmar people to fight for their democracy. We stand in solidarity with Myanmar. We support the people of Myanmar in demanding immediate freedom to To Aung San Suu Kyi, to President U Win Myint, and all those who detained unlawfully. Thank you. Thank you.
នេះជាសាសរបស់លោក Canberra ប្រធាន CNRP ប្រចាំរដ្ឋ Victoria ដែលមានការគ្រប់គ្រងយ៉ាងច្រើនពីសំណាក់ប្រជាជនភូមិដែលមកធ្វើបដកម្មនៅទីនេះ
ကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့ပထမမူလစီစဉ်ထားတဲ့အစီအစဉ်တွေကနေပြီးတော့အနေနဲ့ထပ်မံဖြည့်ဆွတ်လိုက်ရတဲ့အတွက်လည်းအခုတောင်းပန်အပ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီမြန်မာတန်ရုံးဆရာတွေအစီအစဉ်ပြီးတဲ့အခါမှာကမ္ဘောဒီးယားတန်ရုံးဘက်ကိုသွားမှာဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကမ္ဘောဒီးယား community အနေနဲ့လည်းအဲ့ဒီမှာကျွန်တော်တို့ဆက်ပြီးတော့ရှိနေမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့အစီအစဉ်ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဆက်ပြီးတော့သွားမှာဖြစ်ပါတယ်ခင်ဗျာအစီအစဉ်ကကျွန်တော်တို့အများကြီးမကြံတော့ပါဘူးအနည်းငယ်ပဲကြံပါတော့ခင်ဗျာကျွန်တော်တို့
Now I would like to invite our honorable guest speaker from the Cambodian community and then state member of MP of the state member of the Victoria for the Canberra. I would like to invite Mr. Ming Hong Tek. Please welcome to Mr. Ming Hong Tek.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. My name is Hiem Tek and I come from Melbourne. Tonight, last night with Suvan and David along the way, we talk a lot about Myanmar and Burmese diaspora community here. We're here today to stand with you, with the Burmese Myanmar community that call upon, to respect the junta regime, to respect the people wish in Burma, Myanmar election last year. That's most important, and also unconditionally to release all political prisoners in Myanmar, including the Australian citizen that got locked up for trump-up charge in Myanmar. But most importantly, we're here with the Cambodian community, and you have heard Mr. Hamara, the leaders of the opposition party in Melbourne, and I know that there's also from New South Wales and also from here, ACT, to call upon the junta regime to respect the wish of the Myanmar people in Myanmar and also around the world. So I believe that with democracy, what's happening here and the visits of Hun Sen, and Mr. Hamara already said that Hun Sen does not represent Cambodia and also the voice of the Cambodian people in Cambodia and also overseas. So we're here to stand with you to call upon the Australian government to do more and also not to recognize the junta regime in Cambodia, in Myanmar, and also for Australian government to do more to ensure that Australian citizens and also to act as a force in terms of to restore democracy in Myanmar. So we're here loud and clear. We're here to stand with you and to support you in terms of your fight in Myanmar and to call the respect of human rights and democracy in Myanmar. One thing that I would like to say is to keep up your call, to keep up your voice, which is very important. And most importantly, here in Australia, you have the voice of the many people, and I have heard it clearly. One gentleman who today, in this rainy day in front of the Myanmar embassy, we have heard clearly that it's only our voice that united together that will make sure that the election result in Myanmar is respected, human rights in Myanmar is respected and restored, and free for all Myanmar people in Burma and also in overseas. And I wish and I hope that with whatever your effort today and into the future will ensure that you can one day visit your homeland, just like many of us who stand here. We want to see the best out of your country, out of your people, the same way. So today, thank you very much for having us, for having me joining you in this protest, and it's very important. And I have heard, I may be wrong, but I have heard that many of you are very active. So also please do engage with your federal and state member of parliament here in Australia to tell them what you want and to tell them the real situation in Myanmar. The aggression, the atrocity, the killing of the citizens and also the young kids. I heard someone say that, just December last year, there's a unarmed civilian, including UN volunteer staff that got burned in the truck. This is absolutely cannot go on like this. We live in a civilized world in 21st century. We have to stick together and fight together for the best interest for Myanmar, free, fair elections and human rights. So we stand with you and thank you once again for having us.
Thank you.
ខណៈពេលនេះដែរមេឃក៏កំពុងតែភ្លៀងហើយក្រុមបព្វជិកយើងក៏នៅតែបន្តឈរទាមទារតវ៉ានៅមុខស្ថានទូតភូមាដើម្បីប្រឆាំងទៅនឹងជនបដិការទាំងពីរគឺលោកហ៊ុនសែននិងលោកមីងអងឡាំងហើយអំបញ្ញមិញគឺជា speech របស់លោកតាមីងហៀងតំណាងរាស្ត្រប្រចាំរដ្ឋ Victoria នៃប្រទេសអូស្ត្រាលី
Please welcome Ms. Canberra.
Thank you everyone, and thank you for inviting me to be with you today. It's an honour to be standing with you all in the fight for justice. I want to start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are gathered, Ngambri and Myanmar, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. I acknowledge that all calls for justice on this land must be centred in justice for Indigenous people, and we have a long way to go in this fight. Amnesty International stands in solidarity with Burmese people across the world fighting for democracy, and we condemn the actions of the Myanmar military junta, especially when it comes to human rights violations. The most recent attacks on December 24th were a gross violation of human rights and international law. Attacks on civilians and humanitarians is an abhorrent misuse of power, and we cannot stand by idly as the situation continues to escalate and worsen in Myanmar. I stand with the calls of the NUG support group calling on the Australian government to demand ASEAN, with support of the United Nations and concerned governments, to immediately conduct an independent investigation into the horrific murder and burning of Myanmar civilians, including women, children and 2 Save the Children aid workers in Canberra State on December 24th. The Myanmar military has been obstructing civilians' access to crucial aid and medical supplies as part of its suppression of armed resistance since February 2. As part of a brutal war against armed resistance fighters, the Myanmar military has not only launched indiscriminate airstrikes and burned hundreds of homes, but has also cut vital aid supplies and detained humanitarian workers across various parts of the country. Amnesty International interviewed displaced civilians, local aid workers, and gathered powerful eyewitness accounts highlighting the military's systemic attempts to starve people and prevent them from accessing healthcare. Humanitarian workers described how the military has severely limited aid responses, including by arresting aid workers and confiscating or destroying food, medicine, and relief supplies, or restricting their transport. And most recently, aid workers have been among those killed in the deadly attacks. The military has also shut down the internet in 24 townships in central and northwestern Myanmar in September. The world cannot stand by and idly watch. We must do more to condemn the actions of the Myanmar military. COVID-19 is rampant in Myanmar, as it is in the rest of the world, and there is evidence that the Myanmar military is using the pandemic as a weapon of war. We call for the immediate release of political prisoners of conscience, including journalists. Reports indicate that the youngest prisoner is 5 years old and her mother is displaced. Political prisoners must have access to healthcare. The Myanmar military must allow UNHCR and humanitarian aid access. Sexual harassment and gender-based violence imposed by the military must end immediately, and internet access must be restored. An immediate independent investigation must be conducted into human rights violations. The world must unite to protect the people of Myanmar from this violent regime. I call on you all to not lose hope that activism is a long and tiring space, but we will not stop in calling for better. For a world where human rights are recognised, Amnesty International, ACT and Southern New South Wales stands with you today, as do all of our groups across the world. We stand with you every day and we demand better actions from governments all over the world. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Catherine Allen, for your speech to our community. The next program is the time to read the declaration of CRPH NUG Support Group Australia in relation to this public rally. For this program, I would like to invite Mr. Myo Ing, the head of the CRPH NUG Support Group Australia. Please welcome Mr. Myo Ing.
Australia နိုင်ငံ CRPH NUG Support Group Australia မြန်မာပြည်သူပြည်သားများတိုင်းရင်းသားအစုအဖွဲ့များနှင့်မြန်မာပြည်အရေးလက်တွဲဆောင်ရွက်ကြသူများ၏သဘောထားထုတ်ပြန်ကြေညာချက်ဇန်နဝါရီလ9ရက်2020ခုနှစ်နှစ်တဟုကာလ2022ခုနှစ်ဇန်နဝါရီလ9ရက်နေ့တွင်Australia နိုင်ငံတဝန်းရှိမြန်မာပြည်သူပြည်သားများတိုင်းရင်းသားအစုအဖွဲ့များမြန်မာပြည်အရေးလက်တွဲဆောင်ရွက်ကြသူများသည်
បាទហើយក៏ជម្រាបបងប្អូនប្រិយមិត្តដែលគ្រប់គ្រង SK Media ដែលកំពុងតែតាមដានសកម្មភាពបាតកម្មដែលប្រព្រឹត្តធ្វើឡើងនៅទីក្រុង Canberra ដោយប្រទេសភូមាហើយដោយប្រជាជនភូមាហើយក៏រួមចំណែក support ណាគ្រប់គ្រងពីសំណាក់បងប្អូនខ្មែរយើងនៅទីនេះឥឡូវនេះគឺថាការ live នេះគឺវែងអនឡាញណាស់ដែរហើយដូច្នេះហើយម្យ៉ាងមេគ្នាផងដូច្នេះយើងខ្ញុំដែលជាអ្នកថតគឺថាសូមជម្រាបលាបងប្អូនតាមនេះហើយយើងនឹងជួបគ្នាបន្តិចទៀតណាអាស្រ័យទៅលើពេលវេលានិងអាកាសធាតុបាទអញ្ចឹងសូមគោរពអរគុណដល់បងប្អូនទាំងអស់ដែលបានតាមដាន SK Media យ៉ាងយកចិត្តទុកដាក់នៅរាល់សកម្មភាពទាំង live ជាពិសេសនៅព្រឹកនេះតែម្ដងណាបាទហើយសូមគោរពជូនពរបងប្អូនទាំងអស់ហើយសូមប្រកបជួបតែសេចក្តីសុខចម្រើនច្រើនជួបសំណាងល្អជាពិសេសសូមឲ្យពេចផុតពីគ្រោះកាចចង្រៃគឺមេរោគ COVID-19 គ្រប់គ្នាសូមសំណាងល្អសុខសប្បាយបាទជម្រាបលាបាទ
คุณโอนเล้งในบ้านโจรูมនៅពេលនេះហើយអរគុណបងបានថតបង្ហាញរបស់បងនេះសូមឲ្យបងមើលត្រឡប់មកវិញដល់ជោគជ័យបាទនេះពេលវេលាក៏វែងឆ្ងាយហើយណាស់ដែរសូមអរគុណប្រិយមិត្តទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលតាមដាន SK Media ដោយយើងបានចប់ដោយចប់ប្រភេទប៉ុន្តែយើងបានបង្ហាញពីភាពជោគជ័យនៃការបាតកម្មនេះដើម្បីទីមទារោគសេដ្ឋកិច្ចភាពនៃប្រជាជាតិតៃជូនដល់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋភូមិនិងកម្ពុជាផងដែរបាទសូមអរគុណជំរាបលាបាទ
អរគុណបង
បាទអូខេបាយបាយ
ជំរាបលាបងប៉ុណ្ណឹងជំរាបលាបងប្អូនប្រិយមិត្ត SK Media ទាំងអស់គ្នាផង
បាទអូខេអរគុណច្រើន
បាទអូខេឥឡូវមេឃកំពុងតែភ្លៀងបង
បាទអូខេ
បងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាគឺតស៊ូនៅកដាលភ្លៀងមិនច្រកមិនខ្វល់អីទាំងអស់គឺថាទឹកចិត្តពួកគាត់គឺអង្គអាចក្លាហានពុះពៀគ្រប់យ៉ាងគឺថាដើម្បីទាមទារឲ្យបញ្ឈប់នៅរាល់សកម្មភាពរបស់ជនផ្ដាច់ការទាំងពីរនឹងជាពិសេសគឺមីងអងឡាំងនិងហ៊ុនសែនតែម្ដងបាទ
អរគុណ
ចឹងជម្រាបលាបងបាទ
take care បង
អូខេ take care នេះបងបាទ
ဒီကဲ့သို့အကြမ်းဖက်မှုများစွာကိုပေါ်ပေါ်တင်တင်ရောင်ကြကြ
អូខេប្រិយមិត្តទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានទ្រាំចាំរងចាំទស្សនាហ្នឹងគឺមានពេលវែងអន្លាយជិតទៅ2ម៉ោងនោះជានេះ2ម៉ោងជាងហើយបាទសូមអរគុណប្រិយមិត្តទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយសូមផុសរួច